Here we are again at Aristoy Garage, where we finally had the torque boxes welded in and the firewall, effectively welding the front clip to the rest of the car. You can see here, this is the driver's side torque box that was masterfully welded into place. A very skillful welder. We had all the measurements correct, everything lined up right. I'm gonna grind down the welds myself. We're gonna put seam sealer, and then we're gonna weld it. It's gonna get ground down and primed. The firewall on the driver's side was welded in here to the inner apron on the driver's side, and here along the vent cowl. The guy was a very good welder. He was very intuitive, very skillful. He knew what he was doing. He worked on cars before, doing classical restores. Very happy with his work. You can see the firewall here from this angle. Looks very much the same as the last video, except everything wasn't welded in. But nothing goes exactly according to plan. And there were patches underneath the torque boxes that had to be welded in. Originally lining up this car. Here's the passenger side torque box. There's the welds. And underneath here along the rocker panel. Very good work. And here's the passenger side welds for the firewall. And I actually opted to have him weld the firewall, the seam where it connects to the inner apron, both on the driver's side and the passenger side. You can see it goes all the way up, and it welds it very securely. I'll show you the driver's side. That's how it came apart. When I took this car apart and took all the rotted metal out, there were spot weld holes, and I had to fill them in. The next time the welder comes, he's going to do even a better job. As you can see here, he's going to follow the seam all the way down like this to add extra strength to the connection with the inner apron on the driver's side to the firewall. Now inside, you can see all those gaps were closed up. This is the driver's side. You can see the welds that came through from the weld points from the inner apron on the driver's side. And then we followed the seam down. You can see here, this is the outer part of the torque box on the driver's side. I had to cut out the rot, and he had to weld pieces of original Ford metal, which has a certain strength to it, into place. And the torque box covers fitted up rather perfectly. But you can see the firewall. And we go to the passenger side. It's the same thing. All the seam here, I'm going to put seam sealer in there, but the welding is so tight that you couldn't have asked for a better result. I mean, it's tight as it is. I'll put seam sealer in there, and this whole area, actually the whole car, is going to be primed when it's done. You can see a little gap hole right here that's exposed to the outside. I can actually have the welder weld the little piece of metal in there, or I can fill it with seam sealer. But on the same as the driver's side, there were patches underneath here, underneath in the triangle of the torque box. There were patches welded in, and I was worried whether the torque boxes will fit correctly and allow the firewall to fit into place. But they did. It lined up perfectly. We ground them down, made them flush, and you can see this part here is actually the outer torque box now on the passenger side. It's the cover to the torque box. It was very much welded into place. Very, very good. Very happy. The last video that I showed was a mock fitting. In this video, you can see that the floor pan is removed, because that's the next thing that gets welded in, is the floor pan. And you can see these welds here, they still have to be welded. This goes around the frame rail. These holes that I drilled traverse the frame rail, and these holes here, see these three here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They actually weld to the top of the torque boxes. That's on the driver's side. And on the passenger